Chapter 1: The Silent Night of Jerusalem. That night, the air in Jerusalem was cold. The stone streets, once filled with the day's hustle, had surrendered to silence. The moonlight reflected off the ancient walls, and under the dim glow of the streetlights sat an old man wrapped in a torn blanket. His name was Avi. He had once been a carpenter, but after losing his family and battling debts, he became part of the streets. That night, he prayed for the first time in years. Quietly. Silently. Just one sentence. Just one miracle. Just once. What he didn't know was that prayer had been heard. Chapter 2: The Encounter. The next morning, the Mahan Yehuda market in Jerusalem was buzzing. Israel's most famous political figure, Benjamin Netanyahu, was scheduled to visit. Crowds gathered. Security surrounded the area. Media cameras rolled. Avi, unaware of the attention, was rummaging through trash a few meters away. Then a child shouted, "Dad, look." Netanyahu turned his head and saw a man, wrapped in a blanket, sitting on the cold ground. His beard long, his hands cracked, but with an unusual sparkle in his eyes. Netanyahu paused, then walked toward him. The security guards looked confused, but didn't stop him. He bent down and extended his hand. "What's your name?" he asked. Avi hesitated. No one had spoken to him kindly in years. "Avi," he finally whispered. "Have you eaten today?" Netanyahu asked. Avi slowly shook his head. Netanyahu stood up and said, "Come with me." And that was the moment everything changed. Chapter 3: Breakfast and a Proposal. 1 hour later, Avi was sitting at a warm hotel breakfast table for the first time in perhaps his life. Netanyahu sat across from him, his jacket off, sipping coffee. "Tell me, Avi," Netanyahu said. "What did you do before this life?" Avi shrugged. "I was a carpenter. But things went bad. I lost everything. Ended up on the street." Netanyahu listened intently. "Did you ever dream of starting something again? A big idea, a place where you could contribute, build something meaningful?" Avi looked down. "I never dared to dream." Netanyahu smiled faintly. "Maybe it's time." Chapter 4: Secret Preparations. From that day forward, a secret team began working behind the scenes. Netanyahu brought in his consultants, city planners, lawyers, and economic advisors. The plan: to convert an old abandoned warehouse in the heart of Jerusalem into a massive supermarket. But not just any market. This would be a community hub, a job center for the homeless, a symbol of second chances. And Avi would be its manager. At first, Avi couldn't believe it. But Netanyahu had promised. This won't just be a market. It will be a center of hope. Chapter 5: Laying the Foundations of Hope. Every day, Avi was at the site before sunrise. He wore a construction helmet, walked with engineers, helped lift wood, and read blueprints. The old carpenter within him was reborn Netanyahu. Netanyahu visited often, observing progress and always giving Avi another notebook. "Use this for your ideas," he said. "This place is yours." Avi began filling the pages, one line at a time, with dreams, sketches, and purpose. Chapter 6: Choosing a Name. One day, Netanyahu visited with a few aides. The subject came up. "What will the market be called?" Avi thought long and hard. "This isn't just a store," he said. "It's a beginning. A new life." Netanyahu nodded. "Then the name must reflect that." Avi pulled out his notebook and opened to a page. One phrase was written. "New chance." There was silence. Netanyahu smiled. "Perfect. That's what it will be." Chapter 7: The Days Before the Opening. As the grand opening approached, rumors spread across Jerusalem. "Did you hear? Netanyahu's opening a supermarket for a homeless man. Is that real?" "Apparently true." The guy's name is AVI. Media outlets picked up the story. Headlines flooded screens and newspapers. A homeless man becomes a store owner. People were touched. Global media got involved. Everyone wanted to see this miracle unfold. But one man remained focused. Still the first to arrive at the site and the last to leave. AVI. Chapter 8, The Opening Day. The sun shone bright on opening day. Thousands gathered in front of the market, now officially named New Chance. A stage was set. Netanyahu and AVI stood together. Netanyahu addressed the crowd. We are not just opening a market today. We are celebrating the rebirth of a man. AVI is not just a name. He is the voice of every silent hero in this land. Thunderous applause followed. Then, AVI took the microphone. Hands trembling, voice shaking, he said. You can lose everything, your house, your family, your hope. But when someone believes in you, everything can begin again. He paused and looked at the crowd. Today this store opens, but truly, my heart is what has opened. The crowd erupted in cheers. And the ribbon was cut. Chapter 9, The Miracle Inside. Inside, the market was fully stocked, fresh produce, household items, warm bread. But what made it unique was the people. The staff. Many were once homeless themselves. AVI had personally hired them. One cashier said, I used to live in the park. Now I have a paycheck. A stock boy said, someone believed in me. Now I believe in others. There was even a free soup corner, where the homeless could eat daily, no questions asked. And a workshop called Second Chance Academy, where people learned trades and rebuilt their lives. At the center of it all, AVI notebook, now full of dreams come true. Chapter 10, Calm Before the Storm. In the weeks after the opening, the market became a social phenomenon. People came just to see AVI, to say thank you, to be inspired. But success comes with challenges. One morning, journalists confronted AVI. Is it true Netanyahu funded everything? Is this political propaganda? AVI was shocked. No, he replied. This is a story of humanity. One man helped another. That's all. But online rumors exploded. Is AVI an actor? Is this a PR stunt? Chapter 11, The Great Crisis. One night, the power went out. The cold storage began to fail. Then, threats were made against employees. Some quit out of fear. AVI felt everything crumbling. But Netanyahu returned. Walking among the shelves, he spoke gently. This isn't about the store anymore. It's about who you are. Time to show the world. AVI clenched his fists. Then we fight, with kindness. Chapter 12, The Revival. The next day, AVI held a press conference. Calm but firm, he spoke to the world. This isn't a show. This is my life. This market gave jobs, hope, and purpose. Lies won't destroy it. His speech went viral. Crowds returned. Volunteers helped. Neighbors stood guard at night. The market not only survived, it became a symbol of resistance and goodness. Chapter 13, Real Leadership. Months later, a boy entered the market, ragged and afraid. Will you hire me? He asked. I live on the street. I have no one. AVI looked him in the eyes. You belong here. That night, he opened a new notebook and wrote. I gave a boy hope today, like someone once gave me. Chapter 14, A Grand Visit. By the end of the year, international NGOs, UN representatives, and even film crews visited the market. AVI gave speeches, shared his story, inspired many. People no longer saw him as the homeless guy. He was now Chairman AVI. Netanyahu visited one last time. They shook hands. You opened the door, AVI said. Netanyahu smiled. But you walked through it. Chapter 15, The Notebook of Forever. Eventually, AVI original notebook was placed in a glass case near the entrance. A sign read, "These pages hold more than words, they hold lives. Add yours." Visitors left notes, tears, drawings. The market became more than a store. It became a living museum of kindness. Chapter 16, the final page. Years passed. AVI grew old, but never stopped working. One day, he opened a fresh notebook and wrote, "I am AVI. I once lived on the street. A man believed in me. And I began to believe in the world. If you ever lose hope, remember new chance. Because sometimes, miracles begin with a hand reaching out." That night, the stars over Jerusalem burned brighter than ever.